5 years ago, I started one of the first online schools in today's industry where we focus mainly on day trading. What makes us so different than other schools is that we're just not your typical school that's just going to teach you how to trade. We're going to go out there and be part of a family, be part of a team. We're looking for traders that we could trade together.
My name is Elaine Forney, and I'm actually living in North Kingstown, Rhode Island right now. Well, I'm actually retired, so what I do for a living is I'm a trader. That's what I'm doing now for a living.
My name is David, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm retired. Right now I was in aerospace with Boeing.
My name is Richard Serrano, and I'm from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm a network field engineer, and I do telecommunications.
My name is Phil Scheib, and I am from Alaska. I am retired locomotive engineer.
My name is Leanne Jack, and I grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin. So I'm a web designer and a front-end developer.
My name is George Brooks. I am originally from New Jersey. Been in IT for the last 33 years. And in between that, still cutting down trees, climbing trees, and all that other stuff in between.
My name is Terrell Lee. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I work at a small used car lot just to get out of the house.
I discovered this whole community of traders in the trade room, which, you know, I was sitting in front of my computer at home all by myself, and now all of a sudden here is this community out there, which I found very generous. Everybody was so supportive and welcoming. It just really blew me away.
What makes us so different than other schools is that we're just not your typical school that's just going to teach you how to trade. We're going to go out there and be part of a family, be part of a team. We're looking for traders that we could trade together.
My name is Josh Levitin. I'm from Bethpage, New York, and I'm the senior instructor here at Cyber Trading University. What makes our on-site class so great, aside from the networking aspect of it all, just having our students meet each other for the first time, is the fact that myself and Fausto are very hands-on with our students in the sense of just being able to literally overlook their shoulder and watch their trade, what they're focused on from their platform.
Some news came out and the thing just popped.
While I can comment on what they should focus on online, they might not be able to understand that as well compared to having us right there in front of them.
I kind of like the idea of not being in front of a computer 8 hours a day, because I can't do that. So I kind of like the idea of doing it in the morning and then going to do all the other stuff I need to do.
Everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner. Yeah, it's like, it's not worth it.
When I spoke to Fausto on the phone and he interviewed me, the thing he said the hardest thing for me to do would be to unlearn the things that I previously learned, and it turns out that's 100% true. And the stuff that I'm learning from him and from Josh and everybody has really made all the difference in the world in understanding what a day trader is and how it actually works.
Fausto and the staff at CTU University, they're really on top of everything. They give you good trade choices, and they keep you alert onto whatever's happening in the market at the time for the day.
Right, so we made a profit. What did I just say earlier? Just take the money and run, because guess what? If you didn't take it, how would you be doing right now? Now you're losing money. You're just trying to make that day's pay. That's all you're looking to do. You got it, you made it. Listen, for every stock, if that kept on going, for everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner.
I don't think you're going to find a better support team in the stock trading business anywhere. That's why I'm here at the platinum level.
You know, a lot of people want to go out there and trade and don't know if it's for them or not. And guess what? That's okay, because it's not. And the thing you have to look at is you have to find a mentor, you have to find a school, you have to sample a couple of things with a couple of schools out there, do a couple of classes, and you make the choice. But don't make the biggest mistake that people make. Go out there and be part of 90%, maybe even higher, of the failure rate in today's industry, because people want to try it before they learn. I mean, would you ever want someone to work on your loved ones that never went to med school? Or how about just giving your finance money to some financial planner that never learned finance? We are no different, but you are on the right path. The right path is you should be doing it on your own. And by doing it on your own, you need a mentor to show you how to do it. And that's what you're going to get here at Cyber Trading University.
right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. My name is Fausto. Let me get a little chat back if you guys can hear me okay. Just let me just give me a chat in the chat room, please. Can everybody hear me okay? Just want to make sure. Bob, Brian, everyone? All right, perfect. Just want to make sure. Let me just share the cam over here and get that up and running. All right, there we go. All right, everybody, welcome. My name is Fausto. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that presentation really quick. That was just some previous students of ours before the COVID hit, obviously. Just give you some of their feedback on who they are, and you realize they're just people like yourself. They're all human. They all out looking to do the same exact thing, and they actually went out there and wanted to go out there and do a presentation and be able to give you their feedback and their testimonial to tell you their experience at Cybertrain University. And hopefully you guys could be one of them. But before we do that, I want to kind of educate you all of what Cybertrain University is, but most importantly, teach you how to trading. So no one's going to go anywhere without learning not one, but several different things that you would never even think of, why most people are failing in today's industry. And hopefully you will not be one of them after what we see today, because I'm going to show you exactly the art of what we do. Everybody can barely hear me? A little bit louder? Hold on. Let me see if I can raise the volume on that. Hold on 1 second. Oh, there we go. All right. How about now? Is that a little bit better? Let me see if the audio sounds a little bit better. All right. Perfect. Much better. Okay. Good. I got like 5 different microphones going on, so I just changed it to a headset. All right, good. So anyway, let's talk about basically day trading 101, how to spot false breakouts. I know that is a very good topic because everyone's always feeling like, I always feel like I'm chasing, the stock is going one direction, and every time I buy it, it goes down. Every time I sell it, it goes up. I mean, it's like somebody's watching you. Listen. Nobody's watching you. It's that you are not watching them, and that is going to be today's topic. So before we get started, though, just got to warn everybody. You probably see this all the time, but I just want you to understand that results can vary from student to student. There's no guarantees, no promises, no warranties, no suggestions, no profits, no results. Listen. Trading is a risky business, and I always tell everybody you should not risk what you can't afford to lose. Trading is not for everybody, but just be very careful before you make that investment. You know what you get yourself involved in. Just want to be clear on that. Now, what we're going to learn is I'm going to talk about how to follow the smart money. I'm also going to talk about something called total view, which I call level 3. I'm also going to talk about something called level 4. People are like, wait a minute. I only have level 2, or some of you don't even know what the hell that is. I'll talk about it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to talk about why 90% of traders fail today. How do I know that? Because I was one of them. And how did I stop from losing? Well, took a job as a trader. Living here in New York, I learned from the best traders, and I said, you know what? There's got to be a better way than me sitting here with my laptop and not working out very well. So that's one of the other ways. I'm also going to talk about why every trader needs something called time and sales. I'm an actual tape reader. I'll tell you a little bit about that. Remember, you see these orders and you're like, who's buying it? Who's selling it? How do we know that's a real order? How do we know it's not even a fake order? We're going to talk about that and how to read charts correctly, because I would say 80% of people read charts backwards. I don't care who taught you how to read it, but reading charts is not about the past, because it's not always indicative of the future. And that's what we have to focus on. So once again, quick little bio about myself. I don't know if you guys know this, but I love trading. I've been doing this for 25 years. We're one of the longest running schools in the industry. We're endorsed by every direct access brokerage firm in the industry. I have a AAA rating on the Better Business Bureau. I have a AAA rating, 5-star rating on Google. And how is that even possible? I'll tell you why. Because we don't teach everybody how to trade, because a lot of people don't qualify. And you know what? It's not a bad thing when someone tells you, say, listen, just not a good fit. And you know what? If you don't get it, you don't get it. And you know what? Some of you are going to go out there and you're going to see that, maybe it is not for you. But then some of you are like, oh my God, I've been looking for this for years. Now I finally found the person that answered all my questions. I never realized that, this is how the market works. I always thought that. So hopefully we're going to get to be that person. All right. So at the end of this presentation, I'm going to invite every single one of you to come into my live trading room. Now, you probably say, oh, it's another trading room. I've been at, no. Let me tell you something. This is the original trading room. I've been doing this. I started the first one, but we do things totally different, which I'm not going to sit there and spoil it yet, but you're going to get the opportunity to see everything because we practice what we preach. Okay. But it's not about how to make money. It's about how to stop losing it. And that's what we focus on. Now, like I told you, we've been doing this since 1995. We're one of the oldest and longest running schools in the industry. First of all, back then, what you're doing, you had to be licensed. I was a registered trader to do stuff like this. And to be a trader, now you don't have to be registered to be a trader. And the way how I got into the education, because this is a really good, question to ask. People always ask me, and they say, Fausto, if you're such a great trader, why do you teach? Because I get it, and I know a lot of you out there are like, oh, I know this guy. They're always trying to sell you something. Another snake oil salesman. This is like one of those real estate seminars, how to buy houses cheap. Listen, I get it. Okay, believe me, I have to deal with these people every day. And listen, you have them in every business. You have them in the car business. You have them in real estate business. You have them, selling vacuum cleaner business. I mean, they're there every day. But for me, the reason why I teach is because I am only as good of a trader than the people I surround myself with. You see, what I'm looking for is I'm looking to train people I could trade with. You see, when I started, you had to work with a bunch of traders. I used to trade with hundreds of traders in a boardroom. And we know who was good and who was bad. And obviously the bad ones didn't last that long. And you actually worked for somebody because you're trading their money back then. That's how you had to do it. You don't have to do that now. But, what happened to me is that, when were you 4? No. JB, I'm actually going to be 50 years old in September. I can't believe it. Long time. All right. Actually, I started when I was 22, so I'm actually, I started CTU, but I've been trading for almost like 28 years, I would say. But anyway, regarding about the cyber group room, I didn't like share my profits. I mean, some of you here, you've been there. You work for somebody, and eventually, you want to open up your own business, right? You're like, I could do this. You know what I mean? I don't need to work for somebody and split the profits with them and stuff. So I was more of an entrepreneur. So I said, you know what? How am I going to do this without opening up a brokerage firm? So I came up with I said, you know what? Let me start a school. Let me start a school and let me try to come up with a trading room, a chat room. And then I came up with webinars. I was one of the first people in the industry. Actually, I was the first in the industry, but just doing webinars, been doing over 22 years. So we have it down to a science. And, I am what you call a trading junkie. I mean, it sounds worse than what it is, but I love to trade because the opportunity has been there every time. And guess what? There's another one that's coming up right now, and you guys are going to benefit from it. You saw what happened yesterday. The market was down almost 700 points. Now we're up about 470 right now. There's a lot of opportunities out there, but there are opportunities every day, and I need to show you how to do it. But I am here for one reason and one reason only, okay? I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to sell you something or, buy my $50,000 class. Listen, I am looking for traders I could train, okay? So I am looking to interview some people that we can go out there and trade together, okay? So this could be an opportunity for you to get in. And you'll see why Cybertrade University has a very great reputation in the industry. So let's begin, and let me talk to you about how we're going to do this. First of all, when are we going to see the next biggest market drop? I mean, we see what's happened with the SPYs. We'll see what's happening with the Dow. We're breaking all-time highs. You're hearing people, talking about, Is the market going to reverse now? Could it happen? Of course it could happen. And as a trader, you want that to happen because I'm a day trader. I don't hold positions overnight. I don't want to hold them overnight. Why should I? Why should I? All I care about is making my day's pay. I get to sleep at night. I mean, listen, I do my swing trades. I mean, I have to. I trade my own IRA. But overall, 80, 90% of my trades are all day trades, okay? Now, with that said, let me just do a quick poll because I'm curious what is everybody here? Are you a stock trader? Are you an options trader? Let me do a quick poll really quick. I want to see how you guys answer this. All right, we'll share the information here. Brian, you could put it in the actual polls. Okay. Let's give it a couple of more seconds. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we got everybody here. All right, so I'm going to share the results. So listen, let me explain to you about options, Forex, futures, investing, and stocks. If you've been doing something for more than 60 to 90 days and you're not seeing progress and you're flat or you're going down, it's time to change a different industry, okay? You get it or you don't. Any of you an employee that work for somebody that just started and, is making your job harder, you expect the boss to get rid of it. Any business owners out there ever go out there and pay someone like, oh, I finally found an employee. Hopefully he figures it out and you're paying him. He's not getting it. You got to have to, and he's milking it. He's coming later. You're going to keep paying him. He gets it and he does it. So when it comes down to it, if you're not making money consistently in the industry you're in, you might want to consider trading, trying a different exchange. So, I mean, we love the business, right? With COVID, you can work from home. You're seeing all this great volatility in the market. But just so everybody knows the difference one versus the other. Now, I want to take a snapshot of what happened back on March 2nd, I'm sorry. This is why the majority of traders fail. If you go back and you look at Cyber Trading Universities, we'll post it up there. You watch, if you're on my YouTube channel, if you're on my Twitter feed, YouTube's actually the best. You'll be hearing me talking about this for a long time. You need to know what direction the market's going. And the first most important thing you got to look at is having the right tools. You see, everybody likes to go into these trading rooms and they're like, let me see what they're using. What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? First of all, don't trade the news, trade the smart money. Have the right tools, the scanners, the chart, the level 3, the time and sales. You don't need a lot of windows, a lot of data to tell you where the stock is going. So, and I'll go into detail what they are. Let's start with the first thing. Okay. Are any of you guys watching me on YouTube or follow me on Twitter? We'll post a link there if you're not. Okay. So people always ask, where did you find this stock? Where'd that stock come from? What platform are you using? Listen, all I do is I work off the big percentage gainers and losers. That's it. I don't know what DI Disco is. I don't know what BDR is. Let me get my little pointer here so you can follow me along. I mean, I know what coin is. I mean, we saw TV. I don't know what these stocks are. SSY up 21%. CDEV up 17%, 18 million shares. I mean, like, what are these stocks? Who are they? Where'd they come from? How did they get there? Listen, at the end of the day, why are we here? To make money. I don't want to know what these companies do. I don't want to know why they're up. I don't know why they're down. All I care about, if I'm looking to go long and they keep going up and I got buyers, I just want to make my day's pay. It's all about less risk with more reward. I don't trade the Teslas. I don't trade the Facebooks. I don't trade the Amazons. I don't trade, IBMs. Why? Why should I compete against the best traders in the industry? Why should I go out there? Oh, and why should I trade something so expensive? Oh, but I could trade the options. Oh, what a genius you are, right? Yeah, okay. That's about 10 times harder. if you go out there and you in real estate and you can make $50,000 owning a house at $100,000 versus $1 million, where would you put your money? Oh, but it's a nicer looking house. It's $1 million house. I don't care. It's not for myself. I'm looking to make money. Why would I go out there percentage-wise and risk all that when I can risk less? That's why people make big mistakes in trading. Now, I'm not talking about penny stocks, because we don't deal with penny stocks, because penny stocks you can't see, where the buyers and sellers are, but I'll show you how we go out there and do it. So how do you know when and where to buy? The trend is your friend. You don't want to buck that trend. So we're going to start off and we'll look at a stock like Coin. You all saw Coin go public and it went all the way to 420, dropped down below the 300s. You saw Tiger, this stock went from at 9:30 in the morning, ran from like 14 all the way to 18 in less than 2 hours. What is the driving force? And it's not level 2, okay? Level 2 has been outdated since the 90s. I don't even know why they even have it. I mean, because it's moving, it's got data. It's a complete waste of time, okay? Why would anybody give you something for free if there was value there, right? Charge everybody $1 and you'll eliminate about 99% of the people out there. I'm going to tell you, everyone here, a very important thing that someone told me, my mentors taught me. If you're here or looking to get free stuff, do yourself a favor, close your brokerage account. You're wasting your time. Nothing is free in this world. Do you really think brokerage firms are giving you free tickets because they like you? Why would they give you free tickets? How do they make money? You want to know how they make money? Wait till the end and I tell you how they make money. Okay? Oh, but it's free. I would rather pay $1 a ticket than get it for free. I have no interest of getting it for free. What? First of all, I'm gonna have this is what I want everybody to do when you're done with my meeting. I want you to call your brokerage firm when you're done after this meeting, and I want to ask you, I got a question for you. How do you make money with charging me free tickets? Oh, well, interest. Interest? The prime rate is 0. What are you talking about? I'll tell you how they do it at the end. And you're going to be so disgusted and shocked that that's going to show you why 90% of people fail in trading. So let's get into the most exciting part of it. And I want to show you what I mean. I want to ask everybody this question. Who here has level 3 quotes? Who has level 3 quotes? Brian's laughing. But Brian, you know what? When people say that they're laughing with you, no, we're laughing at you. And we don't want to be laughed at and being the morons, okay? But been doing this long enough, and you got to know how the game's being played. It's not a bad thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this business. But you got to look at it where if you can't beat them, join them. What's wrong with that? That's all. At the end of the day, you got to look at what's best for yourself, all right? All right, so let me go out there and share the poll and see how you guys added it and share results so you can see how many of you here. So you got over 66.1%, 11% don't know. I'll take that as a no, and not everybody answered. So if you didn't answer the question, I'll just take that as a no. So about 90%. Okay, good. This is where things are going to get interesting. Now, please, everybody, pay attention. Right now, this is going to be the most important, most pivotal point that's going to show you why you want to do what we're teaching you and how we're going to move forward. Now, what you're looking at right here is something called NASDAQ Total View. This is called an ECN, Electronic Communication Network. This actually will show you, this basically is the seat of the exchange. This is basically what it is. You're seeing the seat of the exchange of the market. You have access to the full data, the full book of what's going on the floor. Think about that for a second. Back in 1990, okay, 2000, when everybody had seats on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, this would cost you about $5–10 million. Now you're getting it, for $15 a month through the exchange. $15. Now let me show you the value of this. Okay, let me get my my drawings. Okay, so right here, these are your buyers. Okay, these are your sellers. All right. So you got, if you want to buy stock, you'd be on the left. If you want to sell stock, you're on the right. Okay. This is basically everybody's negotiating what they want to buy the stock and sell the stock for. Whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. Simple as enough, right? Whoever wants to sell their shares, up on top. Whoever wants to sell it for more money is down at the bottom. Okay. Now you got three columns. You got orders, you have shares, and then you have the price. So F-Cell, the level 1 version, when you look at a quote on TV, it say, oh, F-Cell's trading $18.16. Okay, great. There are 800 shares out there, and it's made up of 4 people. But if you notice, you got 9,000 share buyers here at 18. There's 23 people out there. If you look a little bit lower, you got 11,000 shares at 11.18, 24 orders around the world. So you are seeing the raw data, all the orders of every single person that wants to trade F-Cell. You're seeing who wants to buy it, how many shares, and at what price. How beautiful is that? Kind of explains everything what we were never really taught. Supply and demand. See, everyone out there is talking about indicators and, heat seekers and this and that, but it doesn't matter about any of that stuff. It all predicates on buyers and sellers. So stick with me here because it's going to get interesting. We're looking at a stock right here, Macy's, okay? Now, Macy's right here, you could see right here at 9:30, the stock went from $18.60 all the way down to a price of $17.60, right? And if you notice, once it got around this price, for some unusual reason, it never wanted to go lower than that price. And it sat there for about, I don't know, half hour, 30 minutes. It hit it, went up, hit it, went. And then finally, it went right back up to 18.20. It bounced from 17.60 and it went right back to 18.20. Now, why didn't it go to 17? Why didn't it stop at 18? Why did it pick specifically that number? Well, there's only one answer. If you look over here on NASDAQ Total View, you have 322,000 shares looking to be bought at $17.58. And there's about 18 orders out there that make up that 320,000. Now you think about it. Once again, let me reiterate what I just said. What makes support and resistance levels? Supports are made from buyers. Oops. I had a fly just flew in my room. This happens when you work from home. All the way down, it stopped at that price. Buyers equal support. You see, everyone goes out there and they look for support levels. We don't teach support levels here. And I know that sounds ridiculous. Like, wait a minute, I thought everything's predicated with support. No. You cannot have a support level unless you have buyers. And if you're not seeing the buyers, how do you really know that there was support levels there? Look what happened here. The stock went to a price of $17.80, bounced a little bit, but ended up going lower. Why didn't it stop here? Why did it stop here? Let me draw a crayon there. When it hit support levels here, why didn't it stop there? Okay, well, maybe because that buyers wasn't there. The buyer's down here, and that's why it bounced here. It's all about following the money. All right, let's look at something else. Resistance. You cannot have resistance unless you have sellers. Here we're looking at a stock, INO. Stock started around 12.30, had a nice run from $5, went all the way up to a price of $9. That's a hell of a winner. But for some unusual reason, It didn't want to go to 10. It didn't want to go to 12. Okay, didn't want to go what the brokerage firm upgraded to. So, oh yeah, we give an upgrade. The stock is going to be 12. No, it went back down all the way down to 7. Why 9? Only one reason and one reason only. It wasn't the resistance on the chart. It was the seller on the level 3. And you could see right here, there's 626 orders out there around the world that make up 288,000 shares. Who do you think is going to make more resistance? The guy at 100 shares, or the guy at or the 626 people that make up 280,000 shares? You understand? How do you not see this? How do you not want to know who's out there? Now listen, this is not the Fausto Pugliese indicator, okay? This is not like, this is not something that like, oh, this is my strategy. This is, I'm not taking credit from this. This is how market makers trade, okay? And everything else, we always tell everybody, and if you listen to the old video, the intro, I always start off, I tell everybody this. You should go out there and shop around, because you're all going to need to be educated. Go around, shop around. Go listen to this guy, listen to that, and then come back to us. And then you're going to realize, crap, those guys are trying to teach me 15 indicators. They're trying to tell me to use this and use that. And he's got he's also showing me his nice Ferrari he bought the other day because of it, this and that. Listen, that does not make you money. Okay? We're not showboating here. We want to be able to make a living out of trading. Okay? This is not the Wolf of Wall Street. We want to show you exactly what makes these things go up and go down, so you make smarter and better trading decisions. So, we're not like not the typical person that's going to say, hey, could you tell me what to buy and sell? No, first of all, we can't do that. It's illegal. You got to be able to hit the button. You should know where to get in and out of it. Let's look at this stock, for example, okay? Let me do a quick poll. Let's have a little fun here, okay? All right. So is this stock going up or going down? Let's say you guys answer this question. Looking at a stock called Lake. Big deal. What the hell is Lake? I have no idea. I don't really care. I don't want to know. But let's look at this right here. What is this stock going up or going down? Let's see how you guys answer this question. Lance poll. There we go. There's the poll. Just waiting for everybody to answer. It's not a stupid question. This is a trick question. It's a very logical, honest question. The first thing comes to your mind. I thought I was going to break a record. I thought I was going to break a record. All right. Let me end the poll. I got one person. Usually I get 2 or 3. I thought it was going to be the first time ever I had everybody say down. I got one person that said it was going up. I don't know who you are. Nobody could see you are. But if you really think the stock is going up, you damn well better quit trading. I have no clue what you see that I don't see. The trend is your friend. You don't buck the trend. I mean, are you counting do you have a formula with the greens and the red candlesticks? I mean, I have no idea why you picked the stock was going up. I have no idea, but I'm telling you right now, you might think I'm a little brash, might think I'm a little insulting. I'm doing you a favor, you better quit trading immediately. If you really thought this was going up, you're going to lose all your money. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? So let's go to the next thing. Now, for everybody that said was going down, what do we need for the stock to go back up? Let me see. Everyone just give me a chat. What do we need for the stock to stop going down? Wow, every single one of you hit the nail right in the head. You need buyers. If you say support's not the answer, no. You meant Mark, support is not it. You'll need buyers. You can't have support unless you have buyers, right? So you were looking in the past like, oh, support level's got to be, at 2150. Oh, support level's at 18. Listen, you need buyers, and a chart does not tell you that. A chart is working off time and sales of old data. It's not indicative of the future. Stop thinking about the past. You need to predict the future, okay? So let's look on the buy column, all right? And if you notice down here at the bottom, right here, there's a pretty substantial buyer of 77,000 shares, which is almost like $1 million worth of stock. I mean, you think I'm really going to trust the guy at 100 shares? 3,000 is pretty decent. I mean, 300, 100. I mean, how many shares you think you would trade a stock? All right? You're talking about, and then when you're looking at this, like, why would anybody waste their time? No, but every order has to be advertised. But you need to find the big block orders, the big iceberg orders, what we call here at Cyber Trading University. Yeah, yes, it does. And by the way, dark pools is the least of your problems. Dark pools only make about 5% of the movement. What you really care about is the high frequency trades, which are not in dark pools. The algorithms you hear about all the time, they're not in dark pools. Dark pools are orders being traded between within house through one trader to another, and they're just trying to cross trades. It works on certain things, you know, but if I have to devote all my time on that, I'd rather just look at this orders. The dark pool is not an order, okay? So you kind of a little bit more of, you know, not wasting your time. It's nice to know about it. You should know about a little bit of everything, but this is the most practical way of trading. Actually, there is one for futures, and it's on level 4, but we're not going to talk about it because I'm specifically with stocks, but we will show you in our trading room. And by the way, and if you are looking for someone to teach you a little bit better, that I would recommend, just email me. I'll tell you who to go to. All right. And that goes for options or Forex, whatever it is. Listen, I'd rather you guys hear from the horse's mouth. I know a lot of people in this industry. I don't want anybody to get taken advantage of. So if you want a referral, I could tell you about 2-3 people who I know have very good credibility in this industry that, you know, and if you like them, you know, go with them. All right. So let me clear this out and let me change the slide here. All right. So anyway, let's look at the stock lake we saw was going to go down. Look what happened when it hit this buyer 70,000. It hit 70,000, right? And boom, what happened? It went all the way back up to 23. So stock went all the way to 17.50 and then bounced all the way to almost $23. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? You hit the nail right in the head. Well, everybody thought it was going down, which we know was going to eventually go up. Now you saw the orders and it did exactly what we predicted to do. That is trading 101. By the way, did I lose anybody? Anyone confused yet? Anybody lost? Just give me a yes or no. Good. Think about this for a second. How long were you talking for? All right? We were talking for like 20 minutes maybe? Look what I showed you in the last 5 minutes. Imagine what you will learn if you came in the trading room and saw this live. See, I'm not a big fan of PowerPoints because anybody could draw a nice, pretty picture. The only good thing about it, what we're seeing, that it's stagnant. If you start seeing this stuff moving, you know, you might get a little lost, whatever it is, like, oh, this might be too fast. But you know what? If you want to question or doubt this, you definitely want to see us practice and preach and see in a trading room. That's what we're looking to do. Let me just fix something here. Okay. All right. Would you have put an order to buy at that level? If I really thought the stock was, I wanted to buy it and I see a thing going down, I see an order like that, you damn well, you know I would. Listen, I'm in a business to make money. I don't know what Lake does. I mean, I know what it does, but it's not important. But the thing is, if I'm looking to make a day's pay, why would I not want to trade it? Why would I want to buy where the buyers are? Why would I not want to sell where the sellers are? That's what it comes down to. All right, let's have a little fun. Let's get rid of all the other windows. And you know what's amazing? Do you notice we're only showing you one window? You open up a brokerage firm, they're showing you like 30 windows, right? It's like, my God, it's so confusing. What's this? What's that? I got all these tabs. Look at it, we're just showing you one window and how we have already changed the way you look at a stock as knowing supply and demand. Let's look at this example. Let's look at the stock space, okay? Where do you think resistance levels would be in space? Brian, you know what? If that's an issue, I wouldn't worry about that right now. You could still apply this towards your swing trading, okay? But let's look at this right here. Where's resistance levels on this stock? If you don't know the answer, just give me a big fat question mark. Just give me a question mark. Where do you think space is going to hit a resistance? Doug, thank you. Bob, Brian, you're right. George, you're right. Mike, you're wrong. William, you're right. Fabio, you're right. Lauren, you're right. Max, you're right. Meg doesn't know, has a blanks. All right. Well, let's look. Resistance, okay, is on the sell side right here. What we're looking for is a lot of sellers, okay? Don't mind me talking like, you know, like you're a kindergarten, but like I said, I'm just trying to put it in a very simple perspective. What we're looking for is a lot of shares, and there's a lot of shares right here at 43,000 at this price of $24.75. So, you know, some people say, oh, resistance is at 25.25. Oh, resistance level is at 25.15. Oh, resistance level is at 24.30. No, listen. Resistance level is at 24.75. How do I know that? Because that's where all the shares are. Whatever out of the past is not indicative of the future. This indicates the future. Okay, you might see some resistance levels on some chart that, oh, but I went 5 years. It's been never had a tough time. I know it. You know, everyone's telling me that. Listen, I don't care who tells you that. You got to get through that guy first. Until he doesn't move out of the way, stock ain't going anywhere. Okay, so change the slide here. All right, but when you look at the chart, and you're like, oh, but the chart's going up. Listen, I don't care what anybody tells you. Like I said, it looks like the stock's going higher, but at the end of the day, did it really go higher? No, the stock went up and it came right back down to 23. So it kept hitting there, hitting there, like, oh, you know, do I hold it? Do I don't hold it? Or do I take a loss? You know, maybe somebody did buy it at that price. Listen, that guy didn't go anywhere. He didn't go anywhere. He probably the one that pushed it down. The way I look at it, it's all about following the money. And what we call them here iceberg orders. I came up with that word when I watched the movie The Titanic, and we all know about the story about the Titanic. If you didn't, definitely watch it. Very sad story. But you know, they hit an iceberg, and the poor ship and all those great people died on it. You know, they were more concerned about the beauty of the ship than the safety of the ship. They said it was an unsinkable ship. Yeah, let me know how that works with you when you hit an iceberg. You should consider changing the name from Titanic. It's not full of titanium. So anyway, it's not what's on top of the water; it's on the bottom of the water, and that's why it sank. It's a lot bigger on the bottom, not on top. So you don't want to encounter these iceberg orders when we trade in today's markets, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for traders that I could teach this style so you could help all of my traders out there and find these iceberg orders, because there's no program out there that teaches you that. It's all, you know, algorithms that we have to kind of scan ourselves manually. Now, the next question people ask me is like, oh, Fausto, I heard about these orders. They're fake. Someone told me, how do I know they're real? Listen, you think they're fake? When you come to my trading room, I'll find one of those orders. We'll use your money, and we'll see how fake it is, okay? Whenever someone ever told me that, I ripped them apart. Once I was on a panel, and I had this analyst speak, which I couldn't even understand a damn word he was even saying. Guy was definitely had a vocabulary, high, like whatever, like ridiculous, an IQ probably like a gazillion. And then he came up to me and we were talking about some specific stock, and he's like, "Oh, there's like earnings and blah blah this and the book value and this and that." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great, but it's going down." He's like, "Oh no, the stock is going down." He's like, "Going up." And the reason why I brought it up, because And I purposely, he didn't know I was as smart as they thought it was. But he was talking about stocks that he was trading. I'm like, yeah, that stock's going down. He just upgraded it. That stock's getting crushed. They looked at me. He's like, what makes, looked at me like he was looking down at me, like, who do you think you're talking to? This stock ain't going down. I'm Mr. B. I'm the best analyst, this and that. I said, well, why is everybody selling it? He goes, nobody's selling it. Yeah, look, there's like a million shares out there, and coincidental, looks like your brokerage firm is selling it too. Oh, that's fake. That's fake orders. Don't believe that. That's nothing. You don't know what you're talking about. They're like, oh, really? Why don't we go out there and we execute with your money? Let's see how fake it is. He goes, you know what? He tried to change the subject. It was such a funny thing. I wish it was recorded, actually. But to make a long story short, how do we know these are real orders? We look at time and sales. We follow the orders and we see it. So I know a lot of people neglect using time and sales, but let's look at a stock called SKLZ. Here's a stock that had a big resistance levels. You could see how the stock went from like $12 all the way to about $14.50. You notice how it was like hitting there and it came down and hitting there again, and it never wanted to break it. It finally broke it, and it went from $14.50 past $16. Now, why would that even happen? Because you could see that there was 120,000 share sellers sitting there, at $14.50. Well, if you look right here, look at all time and sales, green, 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 green. Green means the guys on the offer are getting executed. The people are buying it, 5,000, 2,000, 1,600, 7,200. I mean, that could happen, by the way. I don't know if you know that. People are like, oh, that's a big seller. I don't know. Warren Buffett probably bought it. Well, I know. I don't know who bought it. But listen, I'm not sitting there questioning it. That guy gets executed, that thing's going to take off. So as much as you said it was resistance levels, which you were correct, and as much you saw there was a big seller, you were correct. But why is everything I said contradicts what I was saying? Well, because the guy got executed. So that's an extra window on the platform that you need to follow. Anyone lost yet? Anyone confused? Did I lose anybody yet? I always like to ask. Good. Now, does that seem hard? Does that seem complicated? That's where it comes in. That one lost you, Brian? Okay, let me repeat it again. The stock goes up. Okay, the stock goes up. You see how it stopped right here at $14.50. The reason why it stopped is because there was obviously resistance is the sellers. So there actually was a big seller of 121,000 shares there at $14.50. Right there. You see that big seller right there? Let me draw a crayon right here. You don't see it? Okay. But what ended up happening, the seller was actually getting executed. Somebody was actually buying it from him. The time and sales are confirmations from the exchange of transactions take place. So the guy was getting executed, and he kept getting hit and hit and hit. It took about an hour before he sold all those shares. And then sure enough, the stock went higher. Got it? Perfect. Good. Glad you get it, because I couldn't get it when the other guy told me. All right. So what happens if we have a big support level and it breaks it? Well, here's another example. 110,000 share buyer at $12.90. He was right here. Look at that. Stock came from $14.20, stopped, went up, stopped. It hovered there for about another hour and a half. And finally, it was just like, boom, it went all the way down to 11. What the hell happened? Fausto, you told me that they're a buyer, a support level. 110,000 shares. What went wrong? Well, what went wrong is somebody actually went out there and started executing the guy. 10,000, 3,000, look at it, red. Sure enough, somebody sells it to him, things are going to go down. So maybe I don't want to go long. I want to go short. And if I went short, I would have done pretty damn well. And so would you. So that pretty much explains the philosophy behind Cybertrade University, what we're teaching. Now, if you feel that you caught on and kind of made sense, then what I want to do is I want to invite all of you to come and see it live, okay? But before I do, let me just explain something to you. You have to learn before you can earn. Every single one of you are going to need a mentor. And, you know, here's a screenshot. I mean, doing a presentation for Charles Schwab, okay? Charles Schwab, I know we have people that use Charles Schwab. They're like, if you notice the platform, that's their edge platform out there. So, I mean, these brokerage firms want you to get educated, because if you are educated, you'll be a client theirs forever. But you have to learn how to play the game. That's why we've been endorsed and featured on some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry, which, by the way, if anyone here is going to take education for somebody, do yourself a favor, make sure they're endorsed by brokerage firms, because believe me, they don't want the scrutiny, all right? They've done their homework. They got a big compliance department. They don't want to get sued. You know, they want to make sure that whoever's teaching them. So if you get educated by somebody, and if it's not with us, make sure they're backing them, because technically they're legally not allowed to do it, and they would love to have somebody else do it for them. And believe me, they do their homework to do it. They do background checks on all of us, by the way, so you don't have to even waste your time. So with that said, I want to invite every single one of you in my cyber group room. I want you not to judge us on the winners. I want you to judge us on our losers. You see, our whole motto is we don't teach people how to make money. We teach them how to stop losing it. Okay? We teach you how to think for yourself. But most importantly, I'm looking for people that I could trade with that will get it. And the worst thing that could happen is you find out trading's not for you. So what we do all week is this. We open up the trading room right around 7:30 in the morning, Eastern time. We do a live audio broadcast at 9 a.m., which if some of you watch YouTube, we do broadcasts on YouTube. We do live audio commentary in our trading room from 9:30 to 10:30. And obviously, we're pretty much done at the end of the day. I mean, we only work about an hour. I mean, there are people there all day, but I mean, realistically, you don't have to. You don't need to. We'll come back the last hour. We'll do a live order commentary at 2:30. We'll just trade the last 30 minutes of the close. That's it. I even came out with a clock that explains it in detail. Okay, you can always buy this on our website. This is not a full-time job. And if you're from different parts of the world, and you can't wake up early in the morning, or you can't wake up late at night, that's okay, because there's two good time zones. There's definitely a time zone that will fit everybody. But this is not a full-time job. This is a part-time job. And you shouldn't be doing this full-time. You know, life gets in the way, whatever it is. Listen, I hope we had a whole valuable lesson, what we learned from COVID. And now you start to see people like, you know what, work from home is pretty cool. I kind of like it. I don't want to go in a train. I don't want to travel. I don't want to go to work. I like doing this. Of course, one of our biggest issues why people can never do trading, because they wouldn't let them trade at their work. And you know what? You shouldn't. If I was a boss, I'd be ticked off too. You're on my payroll and you're trading, you know, and paying you to make money on your own. But now people are doing it. So now they can, so which is great. So here's an opportunity for you guys to see them. So this is what we're going to do, everybody. We're asking for a application fee of $9. Money back guaranteed after a week. If you're not happy, what you see, we'll give you $9 back. Now, a lot of you probably looking at this like, what's the catch? This is like $9. That's a joke. Well, the $9 is to tell us if you say who you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're some alias. I don't know if you're a competitor. I don't know if you're just, you know, whatever. Okay. The $9 just gives us a confirmation. Let us know that you say who you are. That's basically what that is. And what you're going to get is this. We're going to give you 1 week in our trading room. You're going to be able to talk to an education advisor. You're going to get a morning and afternoon watch list. You're going to get hundreds of hours of recording, trading recording. You're going to get a crash course on day trading. All this for a lousy $9. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, he says, you know what? That changed the thought. We'll give you $9 back. I don't need your $9. I'm looking for people I can make six figures with. Okay? Because what I'm going to do as a bonus, if you register right now, I will even give you a coaching class. Because I need to interview you. We need to sit down and have a conversation. You think I need, listen, I have a 5-star rating on Google. You really think I want to jeopardize that? You think I want to jeopardize it? You're going to go back to Thinkorswim and say, you know what, Fausto, I took his class and I lost all my money because of him. I don't need that scrutiny. Listen, that's the least, I'm not interested. I will tell you point blank, like your doctor, if you need surgery or not. And you know what? I'll be very dead honest with you. Because if I can't make money with you, why would I want you part of my team? But it all starts with $9. I want you to go in there and I want you to look at the other traders if they're making money in there. That's your biggest thing. Okay? Go in there, watch how the professionalism, watch the traders, see how we interact with each other, see how we work together. Okay? And then we'll have that conversation and we'll go from there. That's it. So with that said, everybody, I got about 5 minutes. I want to answer some questions. And, you know, once again, if you guys want to register, the link's up there live. Just go ahead and just register. By the way, very, very important too, part of your application. There is a questionnaire once you register. Please fill it out. There's 5 questions. Let us know a little bit about you. Let us help you. Okay? We're not trying to, don't worry about, if you're worrying about we're going to scam you, like, listen, then don't even bother. Okay? There's no funny games going on here. We need to know who you are. We need to know exactly what your interests are. Let us diagnose you like a doctor would diagnose you before he does surgery on you. All right. I try to stay as long as possible, well, Stephen, once again, it's been recorded. If you had some audio issues on your end with the internet, like I said, we'll send you a link for it. We'll have an email that goes out right at the within an hour once we get it processed. When can I start? Great question. What I usually recommend is the sooner the better. What the hell are you waiting for? I mean, you saw what's going on at the market. We down 700 yesterday. We're up like 500 today. You know, we got trillions of dollars, you know, in spending that's coming out. We had inflation numbers that came out. We have fighting in the Middle East. I mean, there's just so much damn action going on. So, Monday is a good time. You know, maybe talk to your education advisor. He'll tell you exactly what's going on. He'll tell you what to look at and so on. Let him do the walkthrough with you. And then you get in the trading room. All right. You know what, John, I'm not really worried about that. John has a really good question. He's like, you know, Fausto, if you keep telling everybody, you know, this, what about if everybody else knows how to do it? Trust me about it. Let me tell you something. Not everyone here is going to register for the trial. Some people don't like the way I look. Some people don't like the way I talk. Maybe you don't like where I'm from. I don't know what it is, but that's okay. I don't take it. You know, my skin is very thick. But believe me, there are a lot of people out there. You could tell them point blank that Billy Joel is singing tonight in Central Park for free. But if you pay $5, I can get you in the first 5 rows. You know what? People would rather, you know, I'd rather sit outside and sit in the back, you know. Front row, you don't want to sit first 5 rows for $5? That was like $50, actually. It actually did happen. You know what? Those are the people that you can't help. You know what I mean? You can't help them. So I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. There are people every day that are trying to get into trading. There are billions of people in this world. All right? Millions of trading every day. And you know what? You get it or you don't. But it doesn't hurt from trying. Skip says, he says, bullshit. You're the coolest guy in trading, Buzz. And an Italian to boot. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Skip. But you know what? I love what I do. I really do. And I have a passion to do it. I just hate seeing people lose money. I'd rather you know the truth than somebody trying to sell you some snake oil and trying to tell you, oh, you know, buy this indicator. It's going to tell you, and it's the new crystal ball. It's, you know, listen, you got to learn how to play the game first. It doesn't mean it might not work. You just got to know how to play the game. That's all. And I think playing the game is just following the money. Listen, you might not like these people who you compete against. A lot of people don't like Wall Street. And you know what? I don't blame them, but I just feel like maybe just jealous of them. They just did better than you. You know, I mean, like these guys are sitting there, construction guys, whatever. They're like, wow, this guy just hits the button, he makes himself $10,000. How the hell did that work out? Well, you know what? If you could do the same, would you not have done it? Well, great. Who taught you? You know what I mean? You got to learn before you can earn. We got 3 spots for Rich left for the coaching with me. Yeah, and listen, there was over almost 200 people here today. So go out there. Don't waste any time. Register. A couple of people. Let me do a shout out right here. We got Anton from East Brunswick, New Jersey, right around the block from us. All right. Tom from Chicago. Michael from Toronto. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. All right. Any other questions? I'm going to sign up soon as I have better. Brian, listen, another big mistake you're making. Okay. I'm going to sign up when I get a better trading computer. Are you going to go? That's like saying, I'm going to go buy a car and then I'll go take a road test. You know, and then I'll go out there and drive. You don't even know what computer to get. You don't even know what platform you need. That's the least of your problems. Don't worry about spending money. It's cheaper to spend $9 than spend $900 or $9,000 on a computer. You understand? If you got any book, you could do it on your laptop. You could do it on your damn cell phone. You know what I mean? You can watch it on your phone. So you don't need that right now. That's the least of your problems. Brian, the trading room could be run on your phone. All right. Any other questions? Listen, Brian, I just don't want you to procrastinate, because the way I look at it is this: if you got an open account and you're trading now, what's the sense if you learn now or later? It's fresh in your mind. Do it while it's fresh in your mind, because you know what? Next week becomes next month becomes next year. Next thing you know, you get caught in the stock, and all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and the stock gets halted and you're down 50, 60%. And you're like, you know what? It would have been cheaper if I knew $9 what to do. Then now I'm down almost 60, 70%. I just see it all the time. That's it. And it bothers me so much when I see that. No problem. Any other questions? How do your trading room defines from the daily YouTube? So anyway, that's a really good question. So our YouTube, I just do a live audio broadcast for 15 minutes before the market opens up. It's a commentary, what we're looking at pre-market and what we trade in pre-market. The trading room is where you're going to be in there all day. So you're going to see when we start at 7:30 up until 4:30. So here you're watching 15 minutes of a live, commentary of what to expect. The other one, you're going to be there for a whole week, all day. Big difference. All right. All right, traders. So with that said, I got to get back for the trading room. Like I said, if you have any concerns, any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email. You got everything else. Couple of questions. Where can I buy level 3? Where you be able to buy it? When you pay the $9 in the trading room, I'll show it to you. I am not going to tell you where to buy it. I don't want to tell you the actual brokerage firm to get it. I don't want to do anything, because it will actually do more harm than good for you. Let me show you live in the market before we actually go out there and do it live. Like, for example, everybody see what's going on with AMC in the market right now? AMC? Let me just show you. Here's our traders right now. All trading. Look at them. And they're trading AMC. Look at AMC. Started this morning. Went from 1080. Look, it's at 1230. And they're trading it, doing pretty well, actually. Actually, some even also trading Mara and all them. This is the room that you're going to be in. You're going to watch the live data. You're going to be trading with the instructors, and you're also going to be trading with the traders in that room. That's the room that you're going to be in. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for being here. And just remember, everybody, you got to learn before you can earn. Don't make that big mistake. It's a great job. It's a great business. But if you don't move forward with us, please go out there and definitely get educated by somebody. But don't try to go out there and do this on yourself. It's very, very risky. You can lose a lot of money. It's just so much cheaper to someone just teach you the basics first. And then, if you want to go on your own, do it later, then do it. But make sure you surround yourself with good traders and a good mentor. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And don't go anywhere, because what we're going to do right now is we're going to play a quick video of me on NASDAQ when I'm going to continue the training, and we're going to show you exactly what you saw on NASDAQ when I was at the NASDAQ market when we had the crash started during COVID. And I'm going to explain level 3 a little bit more there, okay? So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome to NASDAQ Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Fausto Pugliese, is the founder and president of Cyber Trading University. We're going to take a look at how traders are using Total View. And Fausto, it could not be a better time to have you in with us at Marketplace, because with everything going on, the volatility we've seen in the market since you were with us in the middle of February last time.
That was pretty crazy.
Traders are asking themselves, what's the bottom, what's the top? But as a day trader, you can kind of get an inside look when you're looking at a single stock.
Yeah, what it is, Jill, is that, thanks for having me again, and yes, when it comes to day trading, people realize that what happens over the course of the day, which trickles down to a swing trade and to a long-term investment. And my phone's been blowing up. People could ask me, Fausto, is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? Because we're looking at the market all day, and honestly, this is how you really know when it's the bottom. When you have the worst of the worst of the worst news, and just constantly all negative stuff, and the market's not going any lower, that's when you know it's time to buy. So as you see, like, a lot of bad news keeps coming up, and then obviously you saw what happened yesterday when they lowered the Fed rate by a half. It took for a big decline, and all of a sudden the market's up with about almost like 900 points so far. So and there's still a lot of bad news that's coming out with the coronavirus and everything else, but that's really when you know when you hit the bottom. So for some of the listeners out there that really missed the boat when the market had a big rally, you almost hit 30,000. You know, these are the opportunities. You know, honestly, it is like the same thing I saw back in 2008 when we had the financial crisis. So once you start seeing all the bad news, things start backing up, start going up.
All right, let's take a look at our example here today. We're going to look at ticker symbol MRNA, NASDAQ listed, of course. What are we looking at? Where's the levels that you're looking to sell?
Okay, so listen, what is mRNA? You know, I keep bringing up stocks, and people are like, what does this company do? It doesn't matter. We're just here to make money. The main goal about Total View is you have to understand how it works, how to know where the buyers and sellers are. It's all about supply and demand. That's why it's such a great tool. So we're looking at a chart right here, and we're looking at the stock right here. And the first thing people notice is, like, the stock's going up beautifully. Nice. Look at the stock. Started this morning. It's at 25.80. It's at 28. Is it going higher? Now the goal is, why does the stock keep breaking out? It hits a resistance, it comes back down. It breaks the previous resistance, keeps going up. How do you know it's going to keep breaking higher highs? And what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring a video so you all could see exactly what it's like to see in the real market conditions.
All right, so let's move along to our next slide here. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's take a look at Total View. I'm going to let you take the reins. Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, so we got like a little minute video here. So we're looking at some real time. The key here is time and sales. These are the transactions that are taking place. We're looking at level 2. Level 2 is basically people get for free, but it doesn't give you the depth of data as Total View does. Now the key here is that you don't see that many sellers out there. You're just seeing the best bid and best offer of that exchange. But you'll notice how the stock keeps going higher. What we need to focus on is where you see the big sellers, and you're looking for big orders. You got 51 different orders out there, right around 28. Things are going so quickly, I try to slow it down. So right around $28.50. So that is really your resistance level. So when you're looking at a stock going out, going higher, you're going to say, is the stock going to break out? So you see it's coming up to this guy right here really quickly. You see it's coming up. It's coming up to this person right here. So 70,000 shares, 5,000 shares. So it's going to come up to that seller. Now the goal is this: is that guy going to get executed? Remember, you have 100 share sellers, 300 shares, 1,000. But you have a big order out there. You want to see if that guy gets executed, and you want to see if that's how it breaks out. Remember, what makes support and resistance levels is buyers and sellers. So you got a seller out there. So we're coming up to that seller right here. Now the goal is to look right here and see if that seller gets executed. And you see it's coming up to the seller, and boom, the guy gets taken out. It's actually executing it. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. See all those trades actions? It took the guy out. Now look how fast the stock goes up. From 250, we're at 260, 270, 280, boom, like that, as quickly as that. That's why it's so important to know where the orders are, know where the resistance, and see if the guy gets taken out. Now, when we get to the next slide, look at it. We're already at 2880.
Yep, and you can see you start to see these 35,000.
Which
orders.
is exactly. Now, this is the next order. Now, the next question is: here's the next biggest resistance. There's a 33,000 shares for there's 100 different orders out there. Now, then that's where the next resistance level is. So the goal is you hit a resistance. Where's the next resistance? The next resistance is the next biggest seller. So now we're coming up to him, and we're going to see what's going to happen when he gets to 29.
Yeah, it happens so fast.
Well, also, this is about a 5-minute video that I was able to capture when we traded this stock, and I kind of speeded it up over about a minute, so it doesn't move as quickly. Boom, we hit 29, the guy got taken out again, and look at the stock just took off again. And the thing I want to explain to you, Jill, is that, and your listeners have to understand, is that when you have a big seller out there and that guy gets taken out, that is a very big demand. Someone says, oh, wow, I'll take that 30,000 shares, and that's why you get the stock that really, really starts to take off. Now, the next thing is that you're going to get some resistance levels. It's going to start backing off. There's always profit taking going on, right?
Of course.
So when you have profit taking going on, you could see profit taking going on, but the question is it really a profit taking, or is it just people just, or is it really going to go lower? In this case, it's not. Seller got done. Remember, we just watched the stock go from 28 to 29. Now look at it. We're at 29.50 already. Stock just keeps going higher and higher because those sellers are getting executed. As those sellers get executed, that means there's a demand for it. When you see big block orders out there, it makes a bigger demand, and that makes it higher. Now, the next resistance level, obviously, is going to be where we have to focus on where the next biggest orders are. So we got some, I think we freeze, right? We're done?
Nope, we have a little bit more to go here.
We slow down over here. Yep, we're done. So the next video we're going to show.
Yeah, we actually go to our slide here. So this is where you're looking at those levels.
Right. So we're looking at the seller. So we have a 67,000 share seller at 28. So now we have to look what we call iceberg orders.
What does that mean?
Okay. So it's a funny story. So I came up with this word about 20 years ago after watching the movie The Titanic. Okay. Actually, go watch that movie. Very sad movie. I definitely recommend it. So anyway, what happened to Titanic? It hit an iceberg. And the thing is, everybody was focused on the pretty of the ship and above the water. They didn't realize it's not what's above the water, it's at the bottom of the water. Icebergs are really big. So what happened, it crashed and it sunk. So what we're looking for is big iceberg orders, which we call, some people call them big block orders, but when you see a big order, it's called an iceberg order. So now we're looking at a 28.90 and we're looking for a resistance. Once again, stock's going higher, we need to focus on the next resistance level.
All right, and which is on the next chart here. If we take a look, yep.
So here's just a quick little screenshot. So as we're looking at it, you see, it's a lot easier when you're focusing on, when you're just looking at the level, the total view, and it's easy to point it out. Now, please keep in mind, your listeners have to understand, we're fast forwarding this pretty quickly to get to the point. It doesn't move this quickly. But I'm showing right here is just a quick screenshot. What we're focusing on is this big order right here for 73,000 shares, and there's 315 different orders out there making up that 73,000. Now, the thing I just want to point out is I just want to teach everyone a quick little lesson.
Yeah.
Don't ever sell anything at $30. Go out at $29.99. You just cut the line by.
So that's for anything that's at an even number.
Biggest trick I was taught by my mentors when I was younger. Listen, everybody's going to think 30. Everybody's going to think 20. Go out $21.99. You just cut the line by 73,000 shares. That's a very good.
It's like selling a house or buying a house. It's like those incremental psychological levels.
Well, if you remember, if you look at it, the stock has a penny intervals. And so that's a little tip. But the thing is, let's focus on what happens to the 30. You know, just right off the bat, you know that's a major resistance levels, and that's what we have to focus on. For the stock to go any higher, it's got to get through that 73,000 share seller on total view.
All right, well, let's take a look at that next slide. See what happens next. Now we're going to get the other piece of the trade.
Okay, so now we're looking at the stock moving. Here's 29.45, 29.48, 62. 67. So the sellers are getting executed. You can see the transactions taking place, but we know that there's that guy sitting right here. And now his order's coming up. Look, he's starting making up the ranking. It's getting up to 30. It's getting close to him. So let's watch what happens. 74, 70. Look at the transactions taking place. It's trying to get there. And by the way, those orders, they're all real. People think like they're fake. Those are real orders. Can a guy cancel it? Of course they can cancel it. But that you have to take very seriously, and that's a real order out there. So now as we're looking at it, and as it's trading, it's trying to get there. Actually, it kind of almost tested it. You see that right there?
Yeah.
See that candle right there? It hit it, and now it's starting to back off a little. Now you're starting to see the red candlesticks. So now it means that the last sale is lower than the previous.
And this works for all kinds of stocks. ETFs, would it work for ETFs also?
ETFs, futures, options. It works the same way. Remember, it's the movement of the stock that makes all those other things. Yes,
right.
ETFs and everything else. You could look up any ETF, and it'll come up on total view. Look, now we're down to 29.
Yep.
So my point that I'm getting to is this. If you didn't have a game plan, Jill, and didn't know that seller was out there, and you try to
And actually, if we go to the next slide, this is exactly what you were talking about. There's your level right there.
If you didn't have a game plan and knew that seller was out there, and look at that candle, that stock literally moved. Look how fast it moved in that one bar chart. If you didn't have a game plan to get out there before that guy was out there, and if you didn't what we call shaving, if you didn't shave just before that 30 and cut that line, guess what? You would just look how much money you would have lost. That stock didn't even drop from 30. Look where it went to. 27.30, you would have got crushed on that trade. Because what happens, if that seller's out there and he's not getting executed, he really had to sell that order, Jill, how is he going to get out? He's got to sell to the buyers. If he hits the bid, he's running that stock down, not you and I. Remember, we're not trading 74,000, someone else is, and it's not one person. We saw it, it was like there was several people out there doing it. And that's how you got to focus on using the total view when you trade in today's volatile markets.
All right, so cool to actually watch it happen in real time. Thanks so much for doing that for us, Fausto. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter.